1953. In the depths of the Guatemalan jungle, civilians discovered a massive head carved from stone that dated back to some of their early ancestors. The statue was the product of the ancient Olmec tribe, dating back to 400 BCE. But the head was not strange in its size or location, but rather what it seemed to be modeled after. Unlike the other imagery saved from the Olmec's reign, the head was crafted after a Caucasian male, a person the Olmecs were not believed to have had any contact with. The features of the face were wide, and the nose pointed and slender, contrasting strongly with the other facial statues found in the area by archaeologists. The popular Sudan dig site known as Al Ubaid has been a favorite of archaeologists for decades, but arguably their most disturbing and intriguing find has been that of the sculptures of lizard humanoids, now famously called the lizard people. The lizard people relics are unnerving because of the irreverence in their crafting. The ancient gods that were worshipped in the area thousands of years ago were not mocked or celebrated with revealing poses that exposed any possible humanity. These statues depict the creatures breastfeeding human babies, and poses that are closed and vulnerable, rather than open and strong. The theories regarding the identities of the depictions have run wild, with some claiming that this is the best evidence of alien life. Humanoid lizards landed on Earth from the stars, and walked among us as overlords, until the other gods chased them away. Still, if they were supposed to be deities, it's strange this is the only record we have of them. While paintings have always been rife with odd imagery due to the political stances of many artists, no one can quite figure out what artist Ventura Sarembeni was trying to say in his work, The Disputa of the Eucharist. While most of the altar painting is what religious individuals contend is normal, a section of it featuring Jesus Christ, a dove, and what is assumed to be God, displays the three playing with what looks like a satellite or spaceship. The painting, created in the 16th century, seems to be a possible look into the future, and also bears an odd resemblance to Russian satellites. Another artifact of confounding mystery, the Piri Reis map was created by an Ottoman admiral in 1513 that accurately mapped out South America, North America, and Antarctica in relation to Africa. The shocking part? Many of those places had not yet been discovered and mapped out at that point, including Antarctica, and Reis had no way of knowing the correct distance from South America to Africa. At the time of the publishing, many assumed that South America was a continent directly across or slightly above Africa, despite the fact that so few had even managed to travel there. While Reis apparently used a lost map of Christopher Columbus for his reference to North America, historians are still stunned by his seemingly unknowable knowledge in regards to the rest of the world. But perhaps the oddest and most mysterious known artifact of the modern day is that of the Betz Mystery Sphere. In 1974, a small family known as the Betz surveyed the ashes of a wildfire that destroyed over 80 acres of land nearby. Amongst the splintered wood was a small steel sphere, approximately 20 centimeters in diameter. After bringing it back to their residence, they began experiencing a number of strange phenomena. When music was played, the sphere would emit an odd resonating sound that seemed to come from an organ. The ball began to roll around and move on its own, and could be placed on any high surface and stop itself from rolling off once it neared the edge. Days later, the doors of the Betz house began to violently open and slam shut. More resonating noises began to emit from the sphere, to the point where they alienated the dog from entering the home. The rolling became more aggressive, and the sphere would shatter nearby objects. Now terrified of their new possession, the Betz allowed the military to examine the sphere. They concluded that it was a hollow steel sphere of no importance, and could not explain the strange happenings. To this day, a number of theories surround the Betz Mystery Sphere, ranging from ideas it belonged to extraterrestrials and was attempting to make contact with them once again, to being the product of an art installation that was lost in a brush fire. Some even theorize the sphere has no relevance at all, and it is the Betz that are haunted by a demonic spirit.